So obviously we're looking for good positive news coming at some point in regards to this Bryan Mbeumo deal being completely done and the full agreement being reached. Obviously, there has been some reports today from a few people online, but we haven't got the all-important Ornstein bomber or a cheeky Fabrizio here we go yet. So you never know. It could happen during this show, but probably not. You know, that's how it's been. But it might happen live during this show tonight. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on proceedings and see what happens. But obviously, there are still lots of movements in regards to what's happening now before the actual signing of the contract. So we'll get into what the situation is now anyway. Nice one, Vincent. We've already got 59 likes. Get in there, you legend. Keep hitting the thumbs ups there. Nice one, Volps. Yeah, I forget who I shouted out already. Alan Proughton, get in. Legends. So, yes, so there is a medical expected to be coming soon for Bryan Mbeumo. Let's face it, I mean, we've signed players in the past who barely passed the medical, i.e. Lenny Yoro. So I don't really foresee any issues there being apparent, but we'll see. But this is an update just a short while ago, which was... This is earlier on today, actually, in terms of the initial situation that United have reached an agreement with Brentford for Bryan Mbeumo. Various different outlets reporting that. As I said, Marco Alcaraz reporting that United reached an agreement with Brentford to sign Bryan Mbeumo. And there has been another update a couple of hours ago in regards to a medical pending, etc. So this is from Ben Jacobs a few hours back. Just says United are closing in on Bryan Mbeumo. As revealed earlier with Alex Crook, add-ons being finalised with a total package exceeding £60 million. So it's thought to be around £63 million, maybe getting on for £65 million. But it says Mbeumo is waiting for permission to undergo a medical. So obviously that's going to be a big part of getting this deal done, as well as him passing a medical. We know that personal terms are not an issue there. He's already agreed personal terms with the United, but obviously that would have to be finalised and written off and signed and etc. But in terms of the actual... his medical pending, that shouldn't really be a problem for us. Hopefully happen sometime in the next week. End of the day, United just need to try and register him around the beginning of July. So very important to get our players in before the pre-season picks up again, 7th of July. But ideally, you'd like to get Bryan Mbeumo announced as soon as we possibly can in the new sort of financial year, so to speak, in the 1st of July. So medical pending, waiting permission for that to happen. There's some varying reports here, generally around that suggest that this deal is still being thrashed out just to the finest detail at the moment, with a couple of million difference in regards to bonus structure. So still we haven't got that here we go from Fab. We haven't got that Ornstein bomber. And what I always do say is, in regards to these reports and stuff, no disrespect to any journalist or anyone, but we always have to say none of these deals are actually done deals until they're there, until they've signed the contract, until they're pictured next to the manager holding the shirt. That is when you know this deal is done. So, but it's 98% getting there now, guys. Obviously, there's lots that's been done. We've been working on this for several weeks. There's no issues there with regards to Mbeumo wanting to join United. It's thought that Brentford are imminently going to, if they haven't already, accept this final structure and offer from Manchester United in the region of 63 to 65 million. It's good for everybody. They don't want to risk losing out on the deal as well. And Mbeumo gets his move. They can then, with their new manager, with a new era, start to plan and rebuild a little bit there. So they're going to want to get it done nice and early as well. So that's the latest situation, really. We're just waiting for an update maybe on if there is going to be a big here we go tonight or tomorrow or soon. Yes, Elliot says here we go incoming. I think that's sort of where we're at, really. It's here we go imminent. It's Ornstein bomber imminent. It's, it's Mbeumo to United almost. That's what it is right at the moment, but it's going to happen, I think. We just need to be patient and wait for it to happen now, but we have been patient in all fairness. So, deal seems imminent. This is it. Marco Alcaraz said Bryan Mbeumo to United is said to be imminent after a breakthrough in negotiations this morning, which is obviously big news, and the like I say, various different reports on social media from reputable journalists, but we still haven't had the main one from the main men just yet. But as I say, we'll keep our eyes on things during this show, and hopefully we can, see some positive news and confirm something. But I still think that this deal is going to get officially done on the 1st of July. Get your thoughts in, guys. When do you think this deal is official? I.e. official, he's there, he's signed the contracts, he's officially Manchester United's player, he's there at the club, signing the documents, pictured on the desk. Let us know. What day do you think it will be? Have your say. Do you think it could be tomorrow, the next day? But I honestly do think it is going to be pushed into the next financial year, which is the 1st of July. So what day is that? Let's have a little look-see. So, yeah, the 1st of July is the Tuesday the 1st of July. That is when I think it's going to happen, folks. Nice one, Tom Porter, get in there. She's very tired today, Elliot. She did a long 12-hour night shift last night, taken out of her. She's having a little nap, lad, at the moment. Yes, let's go. Let's see what you guys are saying. Tuesday, the 1st. Here we go, Mbeumo. Not quite, but nearly. Naz says July, 1 to 2 weeks. It would be shit if it took 2 weeks, wouldn't it? It really would. So we've said as long as it's done sort of before pre-season on the 7th of July, it'd be okay. But you want to get it done at the 1st of July. You also want to try and sell a couple of those melts at the beginning of July as well. Dublin games, yeah, fair enough. 4th of July, our Independence Day. Tomorrow morning, the 6th. Thank you so much for liking the video. Oh, yes, if you're just getting in the stream, guys, hit the thumbs ups. Every little like helps the stream out. We're nearly at 100 already, so big up the community of legends for supporting the channel and smashing the likes. Appreciate that. Stephen Shipman thinks July 1st as well. Lee Harris, anyway, says, how do you think Brighton and Manchester United will do this season? Well, I think Brighton will still be a good sort of a team. I could imagine them getting in the top half. I'm going to say 8th or 9th. 10th, maybe for them. And Man United, if all things go to plan, and I know it has to be miraculously different from last season, but that's the plan, is to be very different with a very different set of players. If we get the signings we need, Ala and Mbeumo, Cunha, a proper striker, goalkeeper, maybe one or two others, then there's no reason we can't actually get back into the top 8 ourselves. So I'm going to say 7th place for Man United, finishing higher than Brighton. Yeah, that's right. That's my prediction there for you, bud. July 19th, that would be horrible, Rajat. July 2nd, my birthday. Well, that's what it's going to be then. Ask Nostradamus. Oh, could you imagine? So from Mbeumo's point of view, it's been weeks since he already gave his go-ahead for Manchester United, gave the green light to United, agreed personal terms verbally. It's been a long time since then. And he's just sort of been playing the waiting game, wondering if maybe there'll be any other offers that come in for him, I suppose, as well. But also eager to get that deal done because he stands to make big money at United. And, of course, the player and the team, all of the teams, want to know where they stand in regards to their squads, especially for going into pre-season. So, yeah, I mean, I sense there's a bit of frustration going on there. It certainly seems like it from players like Gyokeres as well over at Sporting. You know, he's made his intentions clear to their president that he does not want to stay there and play there again. So stuff like that, as long as if it carries on a bit longer, you do start to see the frustrations getting in there. Thankfully, I hope this is coming to the end. It doesn't seem like Brentford are going to price him out of the move like maybe Sporting are with Gyokeres. It seems like they're about to accept, you know, this final deal. If it hasn't already been already, you know, as we say, there are certain people reporting this already. Yeah, Keanu, I saw that earlier. We'll get into that, lad. We're going to get into that, Keanu. Nice, I saw that. I've actually got that here. Where is it? Gyokeres wants United. There it is there. But it's from Team Talk. But yeah, fair enough. We'll get into that in a little bit. There you go. I mean, obviously, we still have other areas in the team to massively strengthen. This is only just a half, probably, of what we need to do. Cunha and Mbeumo is brilliant, a couple of additions. But the actual goal scoring up the top of the pitch is a massive problem for us. But I tell you what, it makes me moist. The thought of Mbeumo, Cunha in behind a proper striker up top there, cheeky little Visser or someone who's proven in the Prem, or Gyokeres if we're going to go down that route and get somebody who's got a ridiculous record in terms of in Europe, in the Portuguese league, but obviously it's different kettle of fish in the Prem, but he's still unbelievable in terms of his goal scoring record. Someone like that up there, it makes me excited, guys, it does, because the difference in how dangerous we will be should be night and day from where we were with Gashmus Boyland up top, not being able to hit the side of a Renault Espace from a yard away, you know, and Alejandro Garnacho with his light bulb head fluorescent hairdo, you know, sulking around the place, and Marky Gashford before he went out on loan, the same, and all these sorts of melts, you know, and also even some of the players that are committed in the United team that not fitting properly into that system. So it's been kind of frustrating for a lot of players and a lot of fans, because we've been watching these players struggle. And if you get Mbeumo and Cunha in, they should slot right in a cheeky Amorim system to do much better things for us. And if we could go and get Gyokeres, I mean, Gyokeres would, in my opinion, still be one of the best options we can get. We don't have to get him. I've told you I like Mateta, I like Visser, you know, even like Osserman, but the price is too much. But Gyokeres, what I like about Gyokeres is quite simply that Amorim probably wants him. And if Amorim wants him, that's great. Let's just get onto the Gyokeres stuff then for a second then. We'll get back into the Mbeumo stuff, and hopefully some stuff's going to come out and we'll get into the chat and stuff. But we'll just cover the few little bits of Gyokeres stuff we've got here then, seeing as we're talking about it already. But Laurie Whitwell said that Ruben Amorim's definitely interested in Viktor Gyokeres. There's certainly been discussions around Victor Osimhen. They're definitely looking at strikers. Hugo Ekitike's done well for Frankfurt, but they're different types of strikers, aren't they? Good money being talked about as well, and I think it comes down to that. Yeah, so if you're talking about those few players, Osimhen's very good striker, very, very expensive. Gyokeres, very good striker, still very expensive, but not quite as expensive in terms of wages and continued expense. And then Ekitike, maybe the cheapest in terms of wages, but he's going to cost a heck of a lot of money, and he's probably the least proven, or he's definitely the least proven. So it wouldn't be him, in my opinion, who we should go for. And there is an understanding that, Gyokeres maybe does want United, so this is via Team Talk again. You have to take it with a pinch of salt, because just last week, we heard that he wanted to go to Arsenal due to the Champions League situation there. Now, we also know now that Arsenal are still working on Benjamin Sesko. They're still looking to get that deal done, aren't they? And if they do get that deal done, it's very unlikely that they'll still be going in for Gyokeres. And although Gyokeres has kind of been twerking for Mikel Arteta by reports coming out, saying that he's only interested to go to Arsenal because of the Champions League football, etc. There's still been various reports that suggest that this guy would be open to joining United, especially obviously if it didn't work out and he has to stay at Sporting. There's no offer from Arsenal. If that doesn't come, then he's going to have to think about some other options. He doesn't want to stay at Sporting this summer. Look, Amorim, if Amorim wants him, even after he's decided that we're sloppy seconds, if Amorim wants him to spearhead his attack, I trust him to go and get him. It is a little concerning, the amount of money that they're talking about there over at Sporting. Apparently they want 80 million euros. They can spin on it. They're not getting that, obviously. If they want to play ball, I think 70 million euros is the maximum amount that Man United should pay for Viktor Gyokeres. It's reported that there's approximately, I think it's a 60 million euro sort of agreement, or around about 55 million pounds agreement, gentleman's agreement, that was supposedly there between Sporting and the players' camp, which said that if an offer for around 60 million, 65 million euros was tabled by a club, then they would accept it. And this is why Viktor Gyokeres has got the hump, because now he's being priced out of a move because Sporting are demanding 80 to 90 million euros for him. So Sporting want the maximum they can get. They're prepared to spend a little bit of time to do so. United probably won't go that high, nor should we go that high. How high do you think we should go, guys, in terms of euros? I still think the magic number, the highest number we should pay, is 70 million euros, which is around about, 60 million pounds? It's sort of in keeping with these other signings that we've made, and, it's not an astronomical figure to pay, but it's also a huge amount to pay for any player coming from the Portuguese league. It's not the Premier League. It's not one of the top leagues. It's like Sporting are going to struggle to keep hold of him regardless. So, they have to be somewhat realistic in their price tag. I think he's still quite high up on the list for Man United because of Amorim. If it wasn't because of Amorim, then I would have thought that we'd have moved on to other targets with what he said about, wanting Champions League football and all that sort of thing. Or at least what's been reported, I should say. But because of Amorim and the fact he worked well in an Amorim system, and that Arsenal may still go for Benjamin Sesko, then I still hold out some sort of feeling that Ruben Amorim is going to try and bring him in. So there you go. Gyokeres keeping his options open. Exactly, that's all he's doing. And there's nothing really wrong, I suppose, with wanting and preferring a team that's finished second and has Champions League football and got to a semi-finals of the Champions League over a team that, let's face it, finished 15th and shat it in the final against Spuds. Hansy says Victor is going to Tottenham. What? Excuse me? What's that for? On a sightseeing trip? Is he going on London on a day out? He's going to get a piece of Tottenham cake, is he? There's no frigging way that he's going to Spurs, lad. Excuse me? But I needed that laugh there, lad. Thank you so much for that. He's too old for the outlay. Who are we talking about here? Gyokeres? Gyokeres is only, 27, isn't he? 26, 27. Yeah, exactly. 60 plus 10 add-ons. Basically the same as Kuna and Mbeumo. I like your style there, Disco Dave, lad. 60 plus 10 was the gentleman's agreement. That's about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sorry. That's what it was. So that sounds about right. So that's about what? 60 million pounds. So 60 plus 10 in euros. So that's 70 million, yes. That sounds about right to me. But it was understood they had that gentleman's agreement around about, yes, the figure you're saying there. And they're looking for 80 or 90 million and trying to just get as much as they can. So it's making it a little bit difficult, really, for United or any buying club, because nobody's going to pay quite that much for him. You can understand it from Sporting's perspective. They're just trying to get as much as they can. Retro says, what Gyokeres really says is the only reason to join Arsenal is the Champions League. That's 100% true, isn't it? I mean, not the only reason. As we've said, They are doing better at the top of the league as well. They're a settled side. I mean, if we're just like sort of playing devil's advocate here and looking at the two clubs from afar, obviously Arsenal, they have a settled team. They have a settled manager. It was sort of well known that last season they weren't that far away. They just needed a number 9, a proper goal scorer number 9, and they probably could have done really well. So there's not that far away to maybe finish the puzzle there at Arsenal as well. That's the feeling. They've also had a manager there who's been there for 5-6 years, whatever he's been there. It's stable. He's settled. They're doing quite well. They're not winning trophies, but they're doing quite well. And so it is a stable scenario. As we've discussed previously, Man United is anything but stable. Even though Amorim's only been here for 6 months in the job, there is a small chance and a concern that he won't last another 6 months in the job. If he doesn't start the Premier League well, if we're in 15th place in October, he's probably due for the sack. And as sad as it is to say, that's probably what's going to happen. I mean, I'd hope that they would stick with him and give him a fair chance at least up until Christmas or whatever. But crikey, I mean, this is it. It's a results-based industry, and it will be his second season. They will have given him players that he will have been allowed to implement his style and the players for his system, etc. So there will be a bit of pressure on him, right? But there's still a good chance, from Gyokeres' point of view, that he could. One of the main reasons he could be going to United would be the manager, Amorim. And then if Amorim ends up getting sacked in 6 months' time, what does that really mean for Viktor Gyokeres? So I can understand the reluctance from Viktor Gyokeres. I really can. He will go to Tottenham, says Raja. I can't see that, mate, no. Easy going for Spurs. Yes, it seems easy. It's high up on Spurs' list. They also did inquire about Semenyo previously, didn't they? But yes, easy. They're understood to have an interest in him as well. So thoughts on Emilio Martinez? I like him a lot. I think we should definitely go and get him. Him or Diogo Costa I like as well. But Emilio Martinez with that proven Prem experience. Look, he's a lot better than Andre Onana. Come on. He's a lot better. I have Lee Harris. Yes, mate, I know. Leon imploding. Down to League 2. Finances in the mud. Have to sell players. Let's get a cheeky couple on the cheap. Almeida, Fofana, Mikatadze. Let's have a little couple of, let's go pick some bargains up at the jumble sale. You know what I'm saying? Oh, nice one. How you doing, Son Goku 7, you long-time hero? Great to see you, bud. Enjoy it. How you been? Who cares about sloppy seconds? Get him in. We desperately need a goal scorer. Very true, man. Very true. So true there, Thornster. I mean, sloppy seconds isn't ideal, mate. It really isn't. And 999 second sloppy seconds is even worse, mate. Just ask Bonnie Blues Q. But in regards to the actual, the football situation, yeah, he might have preferred Arsenal, but if it doesn't work out there and Man United go in for him, it's still a great move for Gyokeres, isn't it? In fact, he could even get, I don't know what sort of money's being talked about for him at Arsenal, but he could even get even more money per week. I know it's not about money for some players. They want money, but they also want to be playing for the top teams, playing for the top trophies. But I think Man United could pay him just as well as Arsenal 100%. So that's a big factor as well. There may well be other teams that want to go in for him, but if United put a serious offer in there and Arsenal are off the table, there's a good chance that he would be interested in coming to us. That's all I'm saying, especially if there's not much interest from other clubs. There still could be. What's more of a priority, number 9 or goalkeeper? Okay, so honestly, it's very close because we definitely need those two positions done. But honestly, I would say the goalkeeper. We need to get a new goalkeeper. Andre Onana absolutely destroys the confidence of Man United. It's hard to really get the team to play well over a 90-minute game of football when you have that guy in there sapping the confidence, just waiting to make an error. It's not a good feeling for the rest of the team. They know they've got like a weak link in the team there. And the last line of defence is like a kitten. And it's no good. What you need is a lion back there. And we've got a little kitten as the last line of defence. And the rest of the team know that. And the rest of the team know he's going to be flapping around and making errors. And that has a knock-on effect. So I think that is a key area for us to strengthen because of his errors that were very apparent. He probably cost us 15 league points last season alone. Yes, the goal scoring is a problem. But we're adding Mbeumo. We're adding Cunha. We could even see a sort of rotationary system played up there with no striker that still scores a heck of a lot more goals than what we did last season with Gashman's Boyland up top there. So for me, I would replace Andre Onana next. If we can only get one position sorted, I'd get rid of that melty goalkeeper and bring in a proper shot stopper. That's what I would do. But that doesn't stop the fact that we absolutely need a number 9. So it's not really a case of one or the other. It's a case of we need both of those. We need a number 9 goal scorer and we need a new goalkeeper. Let's just hope that Andre Onana is not here at the start of the new campaign. Yeah, good shout there, Roger. I'm a big fan. I think he's a good option, lad. I mean, I did see a report earlier that they'd be looking for around about 50 million euros for him, though, which is a lot to pay for a goalkeeper. But he is younger, obviously has big potential as well still. Could be great for a number of years. So, but it is, again, still a bit more of a risk than going for somebody like a Martinez who's cheaper, more Premier League proven experience, and just more experienced in general. So yeah, number 9 for me is important. Oh, it definitely is. Yep, Tractor Boy says, fully agree, build from a stable base, get that sorted first. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, that's it. If you've got a good, strong, solid base, good, strong, solid defence, and a keeper who actually can help win you games, then it definitely gives you a lot more freedoms to make the odd error here and there, to maybe commit forward a little bit more, to commit more numbers forward. If you've got the best defence in the world, of course you can take a few more risks up top. It has a knock-on effect, doesn't it? You can score more goals, you can have more confidence. It's just better for everyone if we have a proper goalkeeper. No, mate, every team concedes goals. We need to score more. I say centre forward is more important. Fair enough. I mean, look, I said it was very close. But I'm just looking at the errors that Onana made last season and thinking, well, we need to address that. Whereas with Højlund, it's not like we're going to be sticking with Højlund this season, is it? Even if we can't sell Højlund, even if Højlund stays, we're signing Mbeumo, we've signed Cunha. It's like we're going to probably be playing mostly with sort of those guys. I could even see a system up there where, one of them goes up top for a game and they rotate, they change. And Mbeumo played like 6 games for Brentford last season at centre forward. Cunha played like 6 games for Wolves at centre forward. They're not centre forwards, but they're goal scorers. They're goal scorers. And Bruno Fernandes is a goal scorer. He could play 10 whilst one of them pops up top. I'm not saying that's ideal, but I'm just saying it could happen and it would be better than playing Højlund. For that reason, I still think goalkeeper's a massive place to replace, because Højlund's probably not really expected to be anything more than a backup if he does stay next season, which he probably won't. Well, we've got 324 late night legends in here. Thank you very much for joining. Wednesday, the 25th of June, 2020, 22:42 p.m. Let's go. Thank you for joining us. And we're almost at 150 likes as well. If you're just getting in the stream, do leave a little like on the video. It does help the channel out, and it's free, and it boosts us up, and it helps us compete with clickbait wankers and corporation mugs. So hit the thumbs up, get yourself subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. We're on here daily with the United News, and get involved in the live chat, you legends. Right, let me just have a quick update. Look to see if there's any new updates that have come through tonight. Because, like we say, we're waiting for just a little bit more, perhaps, from the likes of Fab or from the likes of David Ornstein. There's nothing yet in regards to Mbeumo. So, as I say, we just have to kind of be patient on this here we go, or this done deal situation. But it won't be official anyway with United probably until the start of July. So, looking good, though. But in regards to the striking position, like we said, yes. I mean, there's Gyokeres, there's Mateta, there's Visser, there's other options as well. So I think we just need to get one of them, and we should be pretty well set. I've said this since the start of the summer. If Man United get a goalie, a striker, and Mbeumo and Cunha, we'll be a much better team this season. We'll be much more well set. It's not enough still. It's still not enough. It still wouldn't solve the problems we've got with players in the team that need to be solved, like Luke Shaw, etc., Onana, Højlund, Anthony, Rasmus. I've already said him, but it's worth saying twice because he's so gash. Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, all of these guys, we still need to get rid of all of those guys. So it should be a busy summer, and let's face it, we probably won't be able to get rid of all of those guys. It might be Sancho, Garnacho and Rashford out the door, but it might be more difficult to sell the likes of Højlund or get a deal done there for Anthony. Real Betis obviously looks likely, but they have to raise funds in order to afford Anthony, really. Can't just give him away. And then Andre Onana, well, let's face it. I mean, he's really, really unsailable. He's like about as sailable as a spacesuit on the moon with no helmet. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really going to do you much good, is it? You need, that's it, really. He's very difficult to sell right now. Perhaps for the right price, but his wages are quite high for somebody who is so error-prone. So it's unlikely that anybody's going to really want him. Has the temps come down, Pig? I mean, sort of. It's always so hot in here, mate. Look, it's 25.4. It's definitely cooler today, though. Yesterday, or the day before, it would have been like 27, 28 in here right now. So it's definitely a bit cooler. But it's still sweat your bollocks off time, lad. 100%. Ollie Watkins. Do you know what, Simon Warner? I want to sing the praises of Ollie Watkins, and I want to just say, let's go and get Ollie Watkins. He's a good option. senior player, experienced, 29, homegrown, sort of been consistent for a long time now. I think even in a ropey season by his standards, he managed to get about 15 goals this season. He's not a bad player at all. And he's somebody that if he wants to leave Villa, we could give him a good opportunity there. We definitely need a striker up there. He knows the league. He's not a bad option at all, lad. And especially when you consider that Aston Villa need to raise cash, they're looking to maybe sell one or two players, and they can maybe do a deal with us for somebody going in the opposite direction. Somebody like a Garnacho or a Gashford even. Probably not, but I agree with you. I think he is not a bad call. He's not my ideal choice. I still think somebody like Visser, who got like 19 goals last season and has that link up with Mbeumo, makes more sense. But it might be harder to convince Brentford to sell now that a couple of their players are going. Also, I like Mateta as well. But actually, the Watkins signing would be a decent addition to the side, mate. He would absolutely be better than what we've got. He would be decent. He's proven in the Prem. So I think he's a good player. He's not sensational. He's not going to break the mould or anything at United, but he's solid. He's very solid. Much better than what we had. Yeah, players do have bad seasons, true, but Andre's had 2. You don't see Andre Onana leaving, it's difficult to sell him, yeah. Good evening, Lee Heesman, mate. What's going on? I'm all right. Thanks for asking, lad. Bit of back pain. Other than that, not too bad. It's muggy here in Lincolnshire. Oh, tell me about it, yeah. David Santi, not stubborn, mate. He's a good man trying to escape. No, I agree, Robert. I don't think you really can say that Anthony's attitude is bad. Sancho's attitude stinks. Garnacho's attitude's petulant, spoiled brat. Rashford's an egomaniac, lazy prick. Their attitudes are really bad. Anthony, he's not got a bad attitude. He wants to go out on loan to play and better himself. He found happiness over there at Betis. It's difficult at the Prem, and for Man United, not every player works out. He seems a good lad who works hard. He's a hard worker. He just doesn't fit Amorim's system. If he did fit Amorim's system, if he had the ability to be a right wing back, then he would probably be kept, because he does have the right sort of attitude. But yeah, fair enough. F. Watkins says, Tom Porter, you would go and get Mateta. I like Mateta. Akuna Mateta for the rest of my days. It's almost worth getting Mateta just to do that Lion King chant, isn't it? Welbeck over Watkins. Nah. I can't see that, lad. But fair enough. I mean, Welbeck would not be a bad addition to the squad either. Let me just compare. Let me just go to Premier League top scorers for last season and just remind myself the situation here and who's where. Because obviously, it's interesting to see. So let's have a look here. So goals. Let's have a look here. Goals. So yes, we had Salah with the most. You got Isaac. Obviously second. Wait, what the fuck's going on here with this Gash website? Wait a second. Anyway, Ollie Watkins is 7th. That's all I'm saying. He was the 7th highest scorer in the league last season for Aston Villa. He scored 15 goals. So we're talking about a very decent player here who would be a decent addition. Not groundbreaking, but a decent addition. What's his market value? Going to go and spend big money on 29, 39. No, I'm not even necessarily even talking about us going to buy him. I'm actually talking about us maybe doing a cheeky little swap, lad. There's a couple of players they may well be interested from us. So, obviously we've got to try and stretch our cash as much as we can do this summer. So, and it doesn't have to be a direct swap. Just one player coming our way, one player going their way. We sell them Garnacho for 50 million. They sell us Watkins and Martinez. Something like that. Cunha, Watkins and Mbeumo. Sounds all right to me. We all know Onana won't flush Piggy. He's staying. Yes, there you go. Exactly. Stephen says, I'd love a trade. Garnacho and Onana with 15 million for Martinez and Watkins. I like it. I like it a lot, mate. I like it a lot. If only. Yeah. And Mateta and Enzi easy can work because they used to with Premier League 2. Yes, yeah, there you go as well. Yeah, absolutely. Get loans in. We know the club's struggling with money. Why are we loans getting overlooked? That's a fair point, Dan. Well, there's a couple of players that have been linked to us on loan, isn't there? Like Palhinha. I think Palhinha was linked to us on a loan. Wasn't Mitrovic as well? But a couple of players have been linked to us on loan. Duran even maybe. There's a few players been linked, but I agree it's probably something we have to look at this summer with issues with finances. Now, if we do manage to sell all of the players that we've just discussed, Onana, Højlund, Antony, all of them, then we've got a good amount of money to be able to spend. But if we can't sell all of them, which we probably won't be able to, it's probably going to be at least 2 or 3 windows to get rid of all the dross at this football club. You know, the Luke Shaws of this world, and the Mason Mounts of this world, and all these melters. Probably going to be several transfer windows. But a good start would be getting rid of a good few of them and signing a couple more players, absolutely. Watkins probably needs a 5-year contract, not good. 3 max, yeah, fair enough, or somewhere in the middle there. I mean, he is 29 now, so you don't want to give him too much. You still think they're reporting as BS? If Gyokeres wants in, United would confirm the news by now. Well, United wouldn't confirm anything, Endor. United are not really in the business of, transfer speculation, are they? To be honest, they would confirm it when it's done. They would confirm, an official agreement. That's what they would confirm. They would confirm an agreement in place between the 2 clubs. But they wouldn't confirm, nobody would confirm that. I don't think. I mean, you're talking about Gyokeres wanting United, yeah. Well, I mean, nobody would confirm that, I don't think, because, obviously he's playing the field, isn't he? He's got to play other options, really. He's got to hopefully keep his options open. That's what he should be doing. Because what if Man United don't even want him in the end? Obviously the situation is he would prefer Champions League football at Arsenal, but if they go for somebody else, he'd be open for playing for Man United. But he can't come out and say that because it completely alienates him from the fans. Now, obviously, reports have been made, perhaps on his behalf, perhaps with his say, that he would prefer Arsenal, but also perhaps not. Like I said, nobody's living in the cranium of Viktor Gyokeres. Anyone else think that Piggy has undergone a glow-up since the transfer window opened? Thank you, Luke. You know what? It is probably, mate. It's just the weather's been reasonably nice and I've been getting a little bit of sunshine, lad. That's probably it. But I've still got, spots all over my face, mate, from the heat and the sweat and stuff, so I don't know about that. But thank you for saying so. I appreciate that. Spacesuit on the moon with no helmet. Yeah. Anthony had a bad attitude at Ajax when he wanted to leave. And that's it, pushing himself out the door, lad. Yeah, fair enough then. Well, maybe he did there. But all I'm saying is at United, he's always just tried to work hard. Even when he's been shite and he's been called upon, he's always worked reasonably hard for us, hasn't he? Sancho will want to check out all the nightclubs before signing for a new club. Yeah, big up Anthony for being a professional. Absolutely. And there's even some reports, again, take it with a pinch of salt because it might not be true, but there's even some reports that he would be prepared to take a pay cut to go over and play for Real Betis. And if that is the case, then fair play to the guy. That's admirable. Good evening there, Rob. Always United. Yes, lad. Isaac, what a player. To be fair, Tony, you got yourselves a good one there. Really hope that this whole story of Liverpool being interested in him for 150 mil isn't true. I did see that they're in a really good financial position when it comes to the PSR, and if they need to, Liverpool can still spend big this summer, apparently. So it would be a concern if they were able to bring Isaac in as well, wouldn't it? Good evening, AP7. What's going on? I like Vardy as well, mate. I like Vardy as well, absolutely. Pedro, talk about João Pedro, are you? Yeah, not a bad shout either. He's young. He's got decent Premier League proven sort of stats as well. Not bad. Steve, I think that he should. I mean, he seems very loyal to Spurs, but he should want out of Spurs. He's done everything he can do at Spurs now. He's won the Europa. He's got a trophy for them. He's became a Spurs legend, as he said himself. And now he should come and join Manchester United, mate. I'm with you there, Steve. I completely agree. I mean, imagine that. Oh, imagine if Man United just managed to do that for a couple of seasons. Never mind having, Gyokeres, we just go get Son. Son is an actual baller, and he can play, obviously, he can play at centre-forward if you need him to. He's an absolute phenom. Play at number 10, whatever, baller lad. So Son Heung-min would definitely be on my list if it was possible, but it's just very unlikely, isn't it now, unfortunately. I think if Son's going somewhere, he's probably not going to go to another Premier League team, is he? He should want to leave. He should want to go and play for one of Europe's giants. They would want him. Surely it's getting close to the twilight of his career now as well, where he can't quite expect to be, wanted by the top clubs for very much longer. But this summer, with his age and everything, is probably his last chance to really get that big plush move to a big team in Europe, like a Bayern Munich or a Napoli or, some sort of team like that he deserves, because he has been one of the best players in the Prem for many years now. Son's too old. Do you know what? He's not that old. He's not too old. He is too old for a certain price. But if there was a deal to be had, he's still a great player, lad. I mean, how old is Son? I want to say he's 32 or 33. Let me just go and double check that. Maybe he's a bit older, actually. Let me have a look. 32. Yeah, I mean, he's still a baller, though. He's still got a couple of great seasons. But again, there's no point spending 40, 50 million on this guy. It would have to be cut price. It would have to be, a swap deal or something like that. I agree, though. He would still be good for 2 years, wouldn't he? Francois Coq, are you mad, lad? Son is certainly not bad now. He's certainly not bad now, mate. The class doesn't leave just overnight like that, lad. He might have not had the best season compared to some of his previous unbelievable mercurial match-winning seasons, but he's still a great player. Which players do you regret the club not signing after being linked last 3 seasons? Oh, Luke, there's so many. So we could have gone and signed Julian Alvarez. We actually almost had him. Ragnick wanted to bring him in, and the Glazers said no. We could have had him in January when Ragnick was here. He's a real loss for us. I think he would still be balling out for us at the top of the pitch there. I know he did bits at City and he's obviously left them, and but it would be lovely to have had him at the time. Julian Alvarez would have been a signing we could have gone and got. Moises Caicedo was another player we could have signed for 5 or 6 million quid. Remember that a few years back before he went to Leicester, was it? My brain's leaving me here. But yes, before he went to Chelsea, he went to Leicester, didn't he? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right, I think. Anyway, sorry, my brain's having a little bit of a mental block there. But anyway, he was another one as well. We could have got him for chump change. We were all talking about it on this channel. Moises Caicedo to United. This is when he was playing in freaking wherever it was, Timbuktu or wherever. This is before he even came to the Premier League. 5 million quid he could have been had for. Julian Alvarez would have been amazing. Sorry, that's who I mean, Brighton. Sorry, guys. Yes, I knew I was having a mental block. I was just picturing him in blue in my head. And I knew I was having a mental block there. Of course, it was bloody Brighton, yes. Brighton he went to before Chelsea, absolutely. So, but we could have had him then. We were talking about him then. There's actually loads, to be fair. Harry Kane is another big one, Hansy. We could have definitely got him. Jude Bellingham or Kane. Diogo Jota, less so, but yes, fair enough. I like your style, mate. If we had bollocks about us, we'd get a couple of number 9s in there this summer, lad. You'd get Jonathan David and Jamie Vardy and a centre-back to stack bodies on the squad as 6 is needed too. You know your stuff, Stephen. Absolutely, I agree. Okay, let me go and have a look at the updates here, folks. Then we'll move on the rest of the show. We will get back into the Q&A as well. Let's have a little look, see if anything's come through here while we've been live. And let's take a look at the main journos here. And it doesn't really look like it. No, nothing more so tonight on this situation. All right, no worries, no dramas. Right, while I'm here, I'm just going to shout out everyone that's reposted us. There is a link at the top of the chat. Feel free to give us a follow and give us a repost on X if you can. Let's just shout everyone out. We've had 8 reposts on this stream. Thank you so much, legends, for reposting. Elliot Manduna, John Boy Cat, The Butcher of Manchester, Francois Coq, Larry Hasser, Paul Nangle, Kieran, and Aaron Homeyard. Thank you so much for getting in there, raw, my sons, and reposting that. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get back into it then. So what else have I got here for us? Yep, we are expected to be working on a striker after Mbeumo. Fenerbahce still have interest in Sancho. Juventus also have that interest in Sancho. Luckhurst believes that Rashford loan moves only, probably as it stands, due to the amount of money and the wages that this guy's on. Probably a loan move is most realistic. He's still twerking for Barca. The biggest news, obviously, of the day is that we're expecting this Mbeumo deal to be advancing at a pretty quick pace now. There is an expectation that there's an agreement very close to being reached, or has been reached, depending on which reports you read. Mbeumo's awaiting a medical, so United are closing in on Bryan Mbeumo, as revealed earlier. Add-ons being finalised with total package exceeding 60 million. This is via Ben Jacobs. Mbeumo is waiting for permission to undergo a medical. Also, what did Fab say earlier on? Fab said this earlier on. Manchester United keep advancing on Bryan Mbeumo deal as player made clear his priority. So, obviously player wants us, we're very close to reaching the agreement. The deal's advancing. That's from Fab. But still no here we go. Still no here we go from Fab. But he did say an hour or so ago, deal advancing there. We did get a sort of here we go there from Marco Alcaraz. He said Bryan Mbeumo to United is said to be imminent after a break from negotiations. And then he also did say after that that United have reached an agreement with Brentford to sign Bryan Mbeumo. Deal for the 25-year-old attacker worth under 65 million total package. Personal terms already in place and permission given to do medical. Paperwork stage and then official club announcement. So he's already basically said that that's all in, all in there, really, in terms of reaching an agreement. Nobody else has just yet, though, apart from one or two others. So, yes, we're still waiting for Ornstein. We're still waiting for Fab. But that's pretty much the latest sort of Mbeumo updates. Expecting the medical soon. And the deal is imminent, guys. The deal is imminent. Let's get stuck into the live chat then and have a bit of a Q&A with you late night legends. Keep hitting the thumbs up button. It helps us out. Subscribe if you're new. Get yourself subscribed. We're on our way to 100,000 subscribers. Can't quite believe I'm saying that, but we're only 9,000 away now. So give us a massive like spike and get yourself subscribed and involved in the chat. Thank you so much. Let's see what you guys are saying then in the chat here, guys. You take Jota for 20-25 million. I mean, fair enough. I mean, Jota absolutely is a very good player. And he's another one of those that probably could be utilised more at United than what he's getting now in terms of game time. I look at someone else like he's a good example, but someone else like, obviously, we're not going to get him. They'd never sell him. They want the depth. But, someone like Trossard, always rated Trossard at Arsenal. I've always rated Trossard. But Trossard doesn't really get, he hasn't got the big role that he had previously. He doesn't have that role like he did at Brighton or that he would have at United, for instance. I'm not saying we should go get Trossard. I'm just saying he is a very good player that doesn't quite get the flowers or get the, the starting berth in the team all the time. Would I take Núñez? Sharpwin Punez. Would I take Sharpwin Punez? I'll be honest with you, no, definitely not. I mean, he's a shithouse for a start, but not in a great way. No, I can't be doing with him, mate, to be honest. He pisses me off, mate, enormous. He makes me angry. Just looking at him makes me angry, mate. I can't imagine having him play for us, to be honest. I know he's a decent player, but also he's not that clinical. He loves hitting the post, mate. What's the point? We don't need players who are lacking in clinicality right now. We need finishers. And I don't think he is. He is a good all-round player, but is he super clinical? I don't think he is. Same goes for, the likes of Nicholas Jackson. People were saying, why don't we go for Nicholas Jackson? Well, because he's a headless chicken, pretty much, guys. That's why. Him and Núñez are not the most clinical. They do get goals. They do get you goals, but they make it look bloody hard going about it, if you ask me. So that neither of them passed the eye test for me. I'd put Núñez ahead of Jackson, though. But out of the two of them, I still don't think neither of them's the right choice, no. Unless the price was very low, which it isn't going to be. Unless the price was very, very low. So I would say absolutely not. No, can't see that happening. And I wouldn't take him. I certainly would not take him over the likes of Gyokeres or over the likes of Osimhen or over the likes of even Visser or Mateta. So he would be way down on the list. Núñez would be 11th place for me in terms of my shortlist. Because he's a bit of a knob. That's the main reason why he's a bit of a knob, We don't want Sharpwin, yeah. There you go. Liverpool has Frimpong, Kirkus, Wirtz, and possibly Isaac. I know that is looking scary. And maybe Ekitike as well, possibly, if no Isaac. This time last week, we were worried about Frank swooping in for Mbeumo. I'm not worried now. We got him. Let's go, Disco Dave. I feel pretty much the same as well. They're sniffing around the likes of Easy, and the path is clear for us, and it seems like the deal is pretty much close to agreement with a here we go imminent, lad. So, yes. Can't believe we're stuck with the perfect manager with a pair and we can't back him up. Not at the moment, Wayne, but once Mbeumo's in, get a striker in, get a goalie in, you never know. But he has got his hands tied at the moment. He needs some bloody signings, lad. Ekitike Gyokeres, it's Gyokeres 100% for me. He's more experienced, he's more proven, he's had a previous working relationship with our coach. And that's pretty big. We know he can work in that sort of a system. Núñez should be a carpenter. Let's be honest, we wouldn't even sell you Andy Carroll back in the day. Man United would never get Diogo Jota while he is at Liverpool. I agree with you, Ray. Yeah, it's absolutely true. You're not wrong at all there, lad. Absolutely. It's like certain players, De Bruyne left City. He's never going to come to United ever, is he? Same goes for, Jota there, absolutely. Same goes for, Kelleher. I think some of us would have probably taken Kelleher previously before he's gone to Brentford, wasn't it? Yeah. But we would have taken him. But obviously they would not sell him to us. That's how it goes. Charlie Austin. I mean, his days are a little bit done for now, lad. No, definitely not. Let's go, Remster. Gavin Clark, let's go. If you can choose between Watkins or Visser, who would you pick? Oh, easily Visser. Easily Visser, yeah. He's got more goals last season. We know he can work in a system alongside Mbeumo. They know each other. Like, it'd be kind of a clever double signing that, because you're getting an understanding. You're not just getting players who know each other. They've also just been playing with each other. And it takes time to get that sort of telepathy on the go. You know, like, Mbeumo's cutting in down the right. Visser wants to cut across the front post. He's told him many a time. They've tried it. They've trained it. They've played it many a time. I'm cutting across. Play it into the near stick. Stuff like that. I'm not saying that's what they do. I'm just saying it takes time to get that understanding together between players. And that's what you want, you know. Think about when Ruud van Nistelrooy was at the football club. Beckham, he's just like, Beckham, when you get wide in this position, Beckham's like, I'm going to deliver it here. Ruud's like, that's where I'm going to be. You know what I mean? This is it. This is the difference. It takes time to get that understanding. So those guys know each other. They've played with each other. They can probably do better, quicker at United than somewhere else. So I like it. I like it. He's got your hairstyle, Piggy Nunes. Jackson could be one to watch this season, but only for Chelsea. I mean, he comes out with some good updates. Rajat, yeah, end of the day, slow sports news. Anybody who's associated with Sky Sports, you know, it's a little bit on the slow sports news side of things, lad. But there you go. I think we're getting Gyokeres. I like it, Susan. I wouldn't say no. Nunes is Andy Carroll 2.0. Yeah, oh yeah. Yes to Nunes if he gets to punch him in the face. Come on. He does have a punchable face, old Sharpwin Punez. That's just the truth. He's got a face like Cliff Richard. You know what I mean? You just want to give him a slap. That's absolutely spot on. United may accept bids of 45 mil for Garnacho. I'd take it. I'd take it to the right club if it was abroad. If it's a Premier League side, no chance. They can kiss it. If it's a Premier League side, they can certainly pay more than that. 55, 60, even 70. Because we're not just giving players away. And if it's going to be a rival club or somebody who can come back to bite us, we need to get a bit more money. But if it's abroad, if it was to an Italian side or wherever, Spanish team, yeah, we could probably wouldn't hurt us to send him to a team abroad, because then he's not going to come back and bite us. These days we eat a lot of Kinder Buenos. They're brilliant. They are amazing, aren't they? Yeah. You know what I prefer? Kinder Mbeumo's. Jota's great. Sure likes the icing on the cake. Yeah, you know it. Hello, Gavin Clark. What's going on? Son from Spurs would be a dream. Gyokeres is the right man for number 9, but Arsenal's still in for him. Yeah, at the moment, but there are sort of thoughts that they are still advancing with that Benjamin Sesko deal as well. It looks like Benjamin Sesko is Arsenal's first choice, but they might not be able to get a deal financially done there. Perhaps they will be able to with Sporting, but Sporting seem to be the sort of same as RB Leipzig at the moment. They're asking for a heck of a lot of money, 80 or 90 million euros, which nobody wants to pay. The agreement should be closer to 70 million euros. That was what the gentleman's agreement was, apparently, between Gyokeres and Sporting. And so it should be around about that figure. If it is around about that figure and there's no movement on the Benjamin Sesko price tag, they'll probably go for Gyokeres, won't they? Nunes hit more wood than Bonnie Blue. Yes, he did. Yes, he really did. United struggled to sell Malacia. Visser, I agree. Yeah, Watkins is a transition player. I like Watkins too, but I just think Visser with Mbeumo as well, you know, guarantees you some goals as well. It does. Why is Gyokeres' agent very quiet, bro pig? Well, you know, like I say, they're waiting for it to play out. They're biding their time. Arsenal are interested. United are interested. Maybe one or two others interested. So they're just biding their time. There will be offers, I think. End of the day, it's on, obviously, the clubs to try and get an agreement in place, or to try and, you know, club to bid to Sporting and to negotiate with Sporting. If that can't happen very soon, I'm sure the agent will be trying to, you know, expedite things by putting more news stories out that they're not happy, or, you know, just trying to have those communications behind the scenes with the club in terms of Sporting to get them to speed things up. So that may well happen soon, because if it's not happening already, because there is an understanding that he's not happy, you know. Let's go then, G-Wolf. You're saying it now. Gyokeres is coming to United. 65% incoming. 65% of the time. It works every time. Sex Panther. Yeah, I like your style there, G-Wolf lad. You know, hope so. I think it's a good chance we go for him. I think if he does not go to Arsenal, then he's ours. That's what I think. I don't think anybody else is going to tempt him ahead of Amorim and United. United did finish 15th and we are struggling, but we're a sleeping giant. You know, and we will wake up soon. Hope Onana stays. Just love seeing your reactions. Oh, hell no. No, Damien Scully lad. Definitely not. Yeah, Red Man United actually got a perfect manager. They have gone one of the worst managers in United history. So you're talking about who? Amorim, are you? I mean, he's only been in the job 6 months. Statistically wise, his game record is terrible. But I think it's fair to judge him properly this season. He was taken over Ten Hag's shitstorm. Piggy, we also say it takes time for players to adopt to the Premier League. Surely the same applies to managers. Think Amorim will be ready this season? Yeah, I'm glad he was here 6 months ago, mate, and when came mid-season. He never wanted to come mid-season. He wanted to come at the end of the season or the start of the season. He never wanted to come mid-season. For this very reason, because it's so hard to have a successful impact and set the team up properly for pre-season and before the season starts. And you're using other people's players in a different sort of system, So he never wanted this, and I think we're lucky that we had that 6 months, because now it's like he's got all of that extra experience under his belt. He's learnt the opposition teams. He's learnt the Premier League. He's learnt about his squad and his players and who's good enough and who's not. And he's learnt firsthand. So actually, I think it was the perfect pre-season for this season, 6 months of absolute baptism of fire, going through the motions, absolute shit, horrible stuff, football with a shit squad. And he's found out who's good, who's not, who can go, who can we bring in what positions. It was quite a good time, actually, to learn all of that for him, and now this season I think will be a heck of a lot better. Look, time will tell, but it can't be any worse than last season. I truly believe it can't be any worse than last season. He still has to have a good, reasonably high objective this season of getting us into Europe, top 7. That's what I'm saying here, especially after spending money on Mbeumo and Cunha and potentially Gyokeres and others. Like, we're going to expect to do lots better this season. And I think he'll get us playing lots better this season because, it's his first full season to start with, and he's signing players based on the system that he's going to be playing rather than using these melters that really were not sort of designed for his system, yet he was still trying to go through the fire and play that system to get everybody used to it, and obviously to sort of reset Manchester United. It's a very brave thing that he did. Somebody with less bottle and less bollocks would have just come in and pretty much not changed it that much. You saw when Ruud stepped in for a few games. He didn't change the formation or nothing. He's just motivating them, telling them to get forward, attack, whatever. Didn't change all that much, and United were good for a few games. But obviously when you're trying to change everything right from the ground up in terms of the system and the formation and the style and all of that, you're going to go backwards often before you go forwards, I think, especially with a shit squad of melty individuals who don't have the right attitude. So I feel like Amorim, he's still an unproven entity. He's not proven at all in the Prem, but he's still unproven as well. You can't say, oh, he's crap, because he really hasn't had a fair time of it, Just like you can't really say Ruud van Nistelrooy's crap, just because he got Leicester relegated. Leicester were on their way down anyway. Leicester were really struggling. Yes, he's taken over and he's done no good whatsoever. And Leicester have been shite and plummeted out of the Premier League, That's what's happened. But you can't say that Ruud van Nistelrooy is finished as a manager just because he's overseen halfway through a season Leicester City getting relegated. Same thing there, really. Okay, he didn't show all that much, but Leicester were on their way down. That's the point I'm making. Yeah, exactly. Amorim said that the storm was coming, and he was right. 100%. Absolutely. According to TFT, Gyokeres going to Arsenal, agreed. Yeah, no. Nothing's not agreed, I don't think, just yet. Personally, I don't think that nothing's agreed there at all, lad. We just need a few more transfers to make it fair on Amorim. If we sell, then it can be okay. Last week of the window will be great for us as long as we don't panic buy. Amorim has to have used last season to learn about the Glazers. He can't be naive and believe he'll be supported. That's also true as well. That's also true. And we've just got to hope that the higher-ups at this club can actually do their jobs and get rid of the shit players that we've got in our team for Amorim and allow him some money to rebuild with the team, yeah. Carrick was decent, absolutely. Carrick was decent. Unfortunately, got sacked off by Middlesbrough at the end of the season, though, didn't he? Michael Brunelli, thank you for your super chat, Michael. Let's go. He says, do you think we'll get Isaac at LFC? This window is mental. I have no clue what we'll do. Love you, by the way. Oh, thank you very much, Michael. Love you too, man. Actually, no, I don't. The only reason I don't think so is because it's just too crazy, isn't it? Imagine if you got Isaac as well and spent over 100 million, maybe towards 150 million on another player this summer. It'd be unprecedented, lad. I know Liverpool have not spent a lot of money, really, over the last few years compared to the other top clubs. But I'd still be surprised if they're forking out another 130, 140 million this summer. It would be mad. Plus, Newcastle really aren't going to want to sell him. Isaac's got a few years left on his deal, so they would have to be heavily compensated. It's easier for Liverpool to go and get somebody else up there. It's easier for Liverpool to maybe get we've talked about their interest in Ekitike. It's easier. He can be had for maybe 60 million. Maybe he can be the next sort of baller Isaac sort of player. He does look Isaac-esque. But, again, he's not Isak. He's not Premier League proven. He's not got that Premier League experience. And let's face it, when Isak first came in, obviously he had great raw potential. He's doing good stuff for his international team as well. But when Isak came in, he is actually a completely different kettle of fish now to when he first came in. That couple of years of pure experience in the Premier League and development and coaching and just obviously his own hard work and everything that's taken place over the last couple of years has developed him as a player massively from a couple of seasons ago. So he really is a different sort of an animal compared to a couple of years ago. So that's why, I think it's better to go for somebody like that. If Liverpool could get Isak as opposed to Ekitike, even if it costs double, they should do. But I just can't imagine it, mate, with the business you've done with Frimpong and, Gyokeres and Wirtz and all these guys and all the money you've spent. I just can't imagine you getting him. So I think it's a no. But Liverpool are doing some bits this summer, so you never know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at the moment. Certainly would not surprise me. Gamer TV, thank you for your update here from Gianluca Di Marzio. He comments, Juventus had contact with Manchester United today regarding Jadon Sancho. In the next few hours, Juventus will be in conversation with Sancho's entourage to understand if Sancho's willing to join and his financial demands. Thank you, Gamer TV, for getting that in there. Yes, we had some reports earlier, actually, that Juventus is looking quite likely for Jadon Sancho. There was a report that said United's Jadon Sancho has already given Juventus the green light amid transfer links. I'd be very much up for that. Getting him gone to Serie A would be nice. Get him off our books. Hopefully most of his wages covered would be lovely. Yep, absolutely. That's a great shout there, Wayne. You can't invite someone to a poker game, give them a shit hand and expect them to win. But Amorim is trying. Oh, definitely. Unless they're a cheating bastard like Roman Abramovich or someone. I love a Twix me, Rajat. Oh, yeah. If this was 99, we'd have Kane, Isak and Watkins as our striker options. You're probably not far wrong there, Fire Up, lad. You're probably not far wrong. Liverpool spent £170 million on Wirtz. I thought they spent 117 million, no? Experience counts. Yes, Hans, what's going on? 1st of July is the obvious date. I agree with you, Hans. Smash a one if you agree with Hans. I agree with you, Hans. Isak's a baller. If he joins Liverpool, they will be top side. By the way, Hans, we can obviously get an agreement before then. We can get a report of an agreement before then. The clubs have reached an agreement via Fabrizio Romano, here we go, or David Ornstein. We can get that, and then we'll know that this deal is basically done. But obviously, in terms of the actual date that it will be official and put through, it probably will be the 1st of July at the soonest, yeah. Wirtz is going to probably do well. Yeah, I know. Ivo, if we spend well, if we build well, there's no reason not to, mate. There's no reason not to. Look, you can have a magical season. Why not? It's going to be hard, but we have to try and strive towards that anyway. I think that's 50 million strong. Steve B. Got to imagine Sancho want to return to Carrington at all. I don't think he will, no. Same goes for probably Garnacho and Rashford. It'd be better for us and everyone to get them gone before that. Kind of the point of poker. You are playing some FIFA later tonight, Pig? No, I'm not, Rajat. No, mate. We did 4 streams this last 5 nights, so I'm just going to chill tonight, lad. No FIFA streams from me. Let's read a few more comments out, though. Keep getting your the thoughts in there at the end of this stream. We'll stick on here for a good few minutes, have your say. Keep smashing those likes. We're nearly at 250 likes. Keep hitting the subscribe. If it's your first time on the channel, subscribe. And if you don't know the times we're on usually on around sort of lunchtime, around about 1 p.m, sometimes 3 or 4 p.m. if there's not much news to cover all the day's news. And then we're also on around about 10 p.m. with the late night update and covering all the breaking news that may come out at night, which doesn't seem like there's been any in regards to Mbeumo or Here We Go or anything tonight. I'll just have one last little check while we're live here, see if anything has come through. Oh, no, there is something from Fab about Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's signed a new long-term deal at Arsenal. That's a good signing for them, isn't it? Very good signing for them long-term. Signed a new long-term deal. Interesting. Okay, let's get stuck into the live chat again for a few minutes, then we'll wrap this sucker up. But great chat as always. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Why are we even so not taking the players' canteen? I don't know, Chris. I don't even know, mate. End of the day, they're probably serving up rat burgers now. They've got hygiene issues, don't they? We all know Wednesday's called hump day, but we've all got the hump on our face with no transfer today, and we're getting fed up. It's now waiting to get the job done. True, Vincent. It's going to be a big relief when this gets finished, isn't it? It has taken a long time, and it is frustrating, lad. Top 6 next season, that would be a great season, Robert. Really, it would be a good turnaround with Amorim, and that's what we should be aiming for. We shouldn't just be going, we finished 15th, so let's try and be better than that and finish 12th. Bollocks to that. We've got to try and get right up there, and that's why we are hopefully spending and changing the team. Hello there, Canute. Yes, he says, how far away are we from 91.1 or 91.2? We're very far away, lad. We've just got over, we're on 91,003. 91,003, so we're like 8,997 away from 100,000. So yes, hit the subscribe if you're new there. Michael Bonelli says, my dad took me to Anfield in 1977 and I've been a Liverpool fan since. He died on Father's Day and I'm hurting. Oh, Michael, lad. I feel you, lad. I lost my dad in 2019, lad, so I understand what you're going through. Much love to you, Michael. Let's get some big raw love in there for Michael. Much love. Stay strong, you legend. Sounds like a great dad, though, taking you to your first football game and all that sort of stuff, Michael, lad. So, legend. Much love to you, Michael. Thank you for the super chat there, dude. Also, Russell Bland has got in a £10 super chat. Thank you so much, Russell, as well. He says, Mbeumo upgrade on Alejandro. What happened with Martinez? Flubberfist needs to go. Does Neville Southall still walk the planet? He does, mate. What a keeper he was. He'd probably be still better than Andre Onana, wouldn't he? Just get him on a stool and he'd probably be better than Andre. And Mbeumo's a massive upgrade on Alejandro. Even though Alejandro has shown great stuff in the past, like the season before last, very good. He's still just a kid. And not only is he a kid, he's a bit of a prick kid as well. You know, he's a bit of a knob, isn't he? He's a bit of an ego, a bit of a diva. Ideas above his station. Thinks he's CR7 crossed with Messi, when in reality, he's Raheem Sterling crossed with fucking, Carlton Palmer or someone. You know, he's not that great. I'm just trying to think of someone who was shit. Anyway, so he's not really all that, is he? And Mbeumo, on the other hand, he's older, he's experienced, he's got great goal records, 28 goal contributions last season. Alejandro Garnacho could only dream of getting that, to be fair, at the moment. Maybe in the future, because he's young and got great potential, but it's not happening for any time soon, I don't think. For a start, he systematically doesn't fit in Amorim's system. He's not a proper number 10, he's not a striker, and he's certainly not a left wing-back. So he systematically does not fit in. That's the problem for him. Yeah, you too, Paula Zidane. Big ups to you, Legend S. Boise, let's go. Boise Marlene. You have to begin building my virtual wallet so I can afford a pre-order on EA 26 Ultimate Edition. Hey, I feel you, lad. All the transfer talks, just mind games between agents and clubs. Yep, good bit of PR spin going on, you're not wrong. K Slater Pig, do you see us investing in a centre-back with both De Ligt and Martinez returning from injuries? I do, because you just hit the nail on the head there. They're injury-prone. It's not just them either, is it? Euro's quite injury-prone since we've known him. Even Aiden Heaven was out injured for a bit, wasn't he, towards the end of the season? So, yes, there is a concern there that these players just won't be fit and available too often. Yeah, so I definitely would get another centre-back in there. You've lost Lindelof, you've lost Johnny Evans. We don't need to replace with anyone crazy, but just someone for a bit of cover would definitely make a bit of sense there, lad. Probably not Simon Warner. It's Mbeumo deal done. It's not officially done just yet, Sylvester, but the expectations are very, very soon. You know, they're awaiting a medical, and also, obviously they'll be working on things like the finalizations of the contracts, and exchanging all that sort of stuff takes time. But yes, medical is reportedly, being worked upon at this moment. They're waiting for permission to get that done. Franz Zickerman, thank you so much for subscribing. Mike Blakemore, shout out to you, legend, as always. Absolutely. How you getting on, dude? Nice, I appreciate it as well, K Slater. Set of legends joining us. What a community of Dons and Donesses. Speed got to 10k followers in 4 minutes. I mean, that's insane, isn't it, Sylvester? Yeah. Well, okay. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Imagine how Garnacho's raising his kid. Oh, dear. I don't even want to think about that, Susan. You're probably going to give him a prison break tattoo on his 5th birthday, you know what I mean? Garnacho has a high ceiling on him. He really does. Great player, and he's only 20. But he's not as good as Mbeumo right now. Maybe in a few years. His ego's right and checks his body can't cash, yeah. You'll be happy with 6th. It'll give us some much-needed European football. Absolutely. Can't wait for Bryan Mbeumo. Me too, Daniel. Nice one, Robert Catterall, you legend. Absolutely. Garnacho equals Raheem Sterling and Aaron Lennon. Yeah, that's a better comparison, lad. That's a better comparison. You love a United winger with a bit of ego and wanting to take on defenders. No, I do too, but they have to have a final product as well. That's it. I mean, Garnacho is good at taking on people and making things happen, but you can't argue that his final product is infuriating at times. He's more Sterling than he is Vinny Jr., put it that way. Southall looks like he's eating a sunbed. Oh, bless him. Maz is still injured. Yeah, he's another one. Euro probably okay. He had one bad injury only. Well, he's had a couple of little things, didn't he, Rashad? When he first came in, literally the day after he passed his medical, he got injured, didn't he? So, nice. Did you know in a survey of 100 men left alone in a room with a tea cozy were put on the head? No, I didn't, but I can believe it, Yes, epic stream. Thank you, Disco Dave. Appreciate you, lad. Everything covered. Thank you so much, mate, for watching. As much as it pains me to admit, I think United are doing well in the transfer window. Good, sensible buys, even with a Bryan deal dragging. I agree, Mad Effects. Yes, we haven't gone mad. We also are not doing anything beyond our means at the minute. We know we haven't got the most money. We're signing players, and we're also, getting... hopefully players gone soon, but we haven't started to do that yet. But yeah, once we've done that, we could certainly start to buy more players, and it will end up being quite a good window. Nah, I'm not G-Wolf. I've done it 4 nights out of the last 5. I'm just chilling, lad, tonight, lad. 100k on the way. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you, Michael Bonelli. It is a great community. I wouldn't want to do that, Sylvester. I think we need somebody younger, just any of them, guys. Garnacho. No, sorry, not Garnacho. Gyokeres. Visser, Mateta, Watkins, Osserman. Just get one of those players and we'll be much better next season, won't we? Yeah, big up, Susan. Hope you won't get Isaac. In a few years' time, Garnacho will play in the Championship. I mean, I don't know about that, but, he has got the potential to flop like an Adnan Januzaj, or he's got the potential to go on and do amazing like Anthony Elanga did at Forest, this last season and really kick on. You just don't know. Exactly. He's still developing. No doubt he's got big talent. Big talent. Zane Miassi with a super chat. What's going on, Zane? He says, Piggy, what game's your first meltdown expected? Well, not the Arsenal game, mate. I think we're going to duff up you Gooners on that day, lad. Oh, yes. And I'm prepared to put my money where my mouth is, lad. I think we're going to duff you up at Old Trafford first day of the season, lad. Bring it on. So not that game. Probably, I don't know, probably be against Chelsea or something, mate. I don't know. Not against you, though. We're going to duff you up first day of the season, lad. Bruno seems to think he's Superman. What does it take to injure him? Find the kryptonite? He is very much a robust individual, isn't he? Plays every game. And Mbeumo and Cunha, and so does Mbeumo, by the way. And Mbeumo and Cunha allow Xerxes or Bruno to play false 9. Yeah, that's a possibility as well, Chris. Yeah, that's a possibility. I'm not crazy about it. I'd still rather we went and got a conventional number 9. But with a 3-4-2-1, who's to say you couldn't have a false 9? That's true. What's your first game pre-season looking forward? We're playing Leeds on the 19th, lad. 2 years of shitstorm. Yes, and then go for it. There's going to be still some shitstorm, I believe, really. But what striker do I want the most? Visser springs out to me. I like Premier League proven, link up with Mbeumo. Gyokeres is twerking for Arsenal. Osserman wants too much money. And there's just too many egos around. So I'd go for Visser. It seems no nonsense, seems proven. I'd go for Visser. And he can link up with his mate Mbeumo. We aren't that bad. Oh, they're all injury-prone common pence, aren't they? He's still not back 100%, no, but hopefully sometime at the beginning of the season we'll start to see Martinez featuring again. Mateta and Easy would be great, yeah. Radiant Palace would be great. No, I wouldn't, Russell. No, I wouldn't, but I mean, Liverpool ended up paying, close to 100, didn't they, for him? So, yeah, they'd want to get at least sort of that for him. First meltdown after Arsenal, it's written in the stars. That's most of good targets will be gone. Getting the Storm now, going to punch out for the evening. Hey, you have a good one, Steve. Yes, mate, I'll be wrapping up in a minute. I'll just read a couple more, you legend. Have a good one, lad. Amazing. Sight Piggy, you're our release therapy waiting for the season. Thank you, Wayne. Interesting shout here. Fofana, Cunha. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yes, Gyokeres is the striker. Diallo could play right wing back for us. I think that's where his future lies, isn't it? He's so dangerous wide. That's what I really like. When he gets in the wide positions on the right with space, he just causes terrors for defenders, so I think it'll just be a great attacking wing-back for us, yeah. Maybe there'll be a little bit left to be desired defensively, and physically he's not the strongest or biggest or whatever, he does get knocked off the ball a bit. But offensively, I think he'll be absolutely brilliant as a flying wing-back, yeah. Good shout. They do, don't they? Zane with another super chat, he says, how will you handle Saka, Rice, Zubimendi, Nwaneri and Gyokeres? I'm only familiar with 3 of those players, to be honest, Zane. No, obviously I know who you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, same as we handled you last season. Didn't we beat you once last season? I actually can't quite remember now. Or was it a draw in one of them? I don't know. I can't remember now, mate. But I'm just saying, even in the last few years when United have been guff, we still managed to do all right against you, and we turn up okay in those sorts of big games. So I think first game of the season, new team assembled, we could have a go at it. We could have a chance. I know Nick Powell, I always thought he was going to be brilliant. We got him from Crew Alexandra, thought he was going to be brilliant, turned out to be shite. You agree this is a no-brainer? Yeah. Nice one, Rashak. You have a good one as well. Nice one, Simon. Get in there. Earlier I heard something about Ndidi for 9 minutes. What happened? Yes, Evo. So Leicester got relegated, and Ndidi had a relegation release clause in his contract, which means that if they get relegated, they have to accept an offer of £9 million. That's the reports. So it seems like Wilfred Ndidi is available. 28-year-old midfielder there is available for £9 million. So it's a no-brainer for me. We should absolutely try and get him to add him to the squad. It's not going to cost a lot. It's not a big risk. So I would try and get him, definitely. And it's also, nothing bad for him who's leaving Leicester going to a team in a different league. So I think it makes sense all round. Oh, yeah, big time. Absolutely. Yes. I completely agree. Jamie, did you get my message on Instagram? I sent you the tracking number a couple of days back, lad. You should be able to keep on it. It was sent by Royal Mail, tracked 48. So, no, not a horse-drawn canal barge, lad. But you should have the tracking number in your Instagram, mate, if you want to check on the status of it. Probably will be with you, I would imagine. Well, it should have been with you already, but tomorrow? Have a look, mate. It'll be on there. It'll tell you. Canute, thank you so much for the 50 knock super chat there. Get in there, my son. He says, Solskjaer always said he got his 4th draw. I think the same will be true in the future. Canute, lad, thank you so much for the 50 knock super chat, lad, as well. I appreciate you, sir. Yes, mate. What did he say? He got his 4th draw. I think that's the same. What does that even mean? Sorry, I'm struggling with that one. Solskjaer always said he got his 4th draw. What does that mean? Anyway, thank you so much, Canute. Can somebody explain that to me? I'm having a bit of a mental block. Championship ex-strikers must be worth a look if we can get pissed about with big money. I guess. Surprised Rashford hasn't got a restraining order. Keeps working at Barca. Absolutely. Yeah. Big up. Thank you, Rob Always United. Appreciate you. Definitely don't want lack of threat, mate. No thanks. Thank you, Susan Chetry. Nice one, Nomad Joe. I don't know what Canute was saying there. It's probably something very, very awesome, wise, and philosophical, but I don't follow it. Anyway, legends. Yes, get Thiago Melder. Not a bad shout, lad. Not a bad shout. Right, guys, listen, we're going to wrap up this stream, but thank you, everyone, for getting in here. Big up the super chatters like Canute and Zane and everyone who's got in here raw earlier as well. Thank you so much to all the legends of the channel. Mr. Michael Brunelli, Russell Bland, all those guys getting in on it. Big up to the moderators getting in here raw, all the mod squad in blue. Thank you so much to all the members in green as well for supporting the channel, like Rajat and Jamie and Rajat and Canute. Oh, right, he didn't want any of the players he got during 3 years. Yeah, no, that's fair. I think a lot of them, that's true, especially like Donny van der Beek, and obviously they were trying to sign the likes of Sancho way before Ollie came. I think you're absolutely right, Canute. Yeah, they didn't really give him free rein there. Whereas they gave Erik ten Hag complete free rein to buy who he wanted, and he bought a load of shite players. Good question, Duderino, good question. I hope we take Mason Mount 7 off of him and sell him. Right, guys, we're going to wrap up this stream, but thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. You're a set of legends. You can come back after this stream's finished. Get your thoughts and opinions in the not live comment section. There's the Mbeumo news. There is nothing tonight in terms of a Here We Go or an Ornstein bomber, unfortunately. Maybe tomorrow, but rest assured, guys, this thing's getting done probably by the 1st of July. That's when we can expect to have an official announcement, I suppose. So, yeah. Nice one, Susan. Thank you so much, Disco Davey Legend, Lee, Duderino, Wayne the Red. Every one of you legends, thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to be wrapping up this stream now then. But thank you so much for watching. You can follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. It is gashed, isn't it, Mounts? But any moment now we're expecting some Mbeumo news, so hopefully not too much longer to wait. Let's go. 1st of July, mate. That is the day. That's Mbeumo Day, in my opinion. Right, come back after. Get your thoughts in the not live comments. Follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Russell Bland with a £2 super chat says Leon situation raid. Oh, definitely. I spoke a bit about this now. I feel like, yes, definitely. There's a few players, if we can get them on the cheap. I really rate that Georgian forward Mikitadze. I like Fofana. I like Almeida. There's definitely a decent few options there if they're cheap, which hopefully Leon, in the situation they're in, probably have to start selling players on the cheap just to get everyone gone to pay the bills, So it's possible, isn't it? Thank you so much for that late super chat there, Russell. You're a legend. Get in there, you beast. Everyone, thank you very much. Jamie, Kingslayer, Rajat, and everybody else as well. That's it from me. God bless you all. Remember, Piggy loves you. And also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/flyingpigunited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. patreon.com/flyingpigunited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel on Patreon. Get in there.